Burnout and depression are common ailments these days, but most people do not even know what the root causes and effects are. Burnout may be caused by stress, which also may lead to other emotional and physical ailments. To learn more about this subject and how to protect your health, join us now with Dr. Gerard Wouters, who treats people with stress-related ailments. He is an expert with mental coaching and the author of two books, Valoring Kindred, which means Lost Children, and Way Round. We welcome your questions and remarks. You may call the studio line right now on 020-737-1619. Join us with your remarks and join us with your questions and ask the doctor himself, ask him direct on some issues that are related on this aspect. Welcome, Mr. Gerard, or Dr. Gerard. Welcome once again to Radio Voice of Naija project.
Thank you. Always glad to be here.
Yeah, we love it too that you are here. So, tell us, what are the common causes of burnout?
Well,
and first and foremost, maybe define it for us so that we can know what it is really.
Burnout. Burnout is in the common sense. Everybody thinks it's a work-related problem, but in fact it's not. The problem is attitude. You see that people who have burnouts are people that in their youth get the signal that they're not good enough or they don't do good enough. You know, everything you do is never good enough. And when you get the signal, you start proving yourself. You start proving people that you are good enough and that you do good enough. Only the problem is with this proving, you start producing and start working a lot harder than you're capable of. Yeah. And then at one point in your life, your body says enough, and that's what a burnout is. Your body saying this is enough. I cannot take any more.
Wow.
Yeah, it's as simple as that.
So what you are saying is that people, when they begin to work under pressure, when people begin to work under pressure because they want to prove a point.
Yeah,
is that what
they
you
want
mean?
to prove that they're good enough.
They want to
that
prove
they're kind people, that they're good people, that they're worth. And when you do this, you over pressure your life. You overproduce. You produce and work a lot harder than you're capable of. And then at one point your body says enough.
Yeah.
I cannot take anymore. You're up, you're on, you're burned.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, so what are the common causes of it? Is it just that somebody, you are working under pressure? Is that just the only cause?
No. The problem starts in your youth. When you, by instant, have a brother who gets a lot more attention than you do, then you feel that you're not good enough, and then you start producing, getting attention, start demanding attention, and that's what I mean with proving yourself.
Yes.
Proving yourself that you're good enough, that you're worth it, that you're worth the attention. But the problem is you do too much. It takes so much energy that at one point your body says enough. I cannot do anymore. And that's what I call it, burn out.
Yes.
You're completely burned up. Yeah.
So,
because of proving your worth.
Now, hold on for a minute. So you want to let us know that this issue of burnout is not only for the adults. It can start from your youth.
It's the foundation is laid in your youth of the burnout. It's not something that is just dropped out of the air. It's something you work from your youth on.
So
the problem starts in the youth.
Yeah.
And as soon as you start to work, you start to live, you start to be in this crazy universe.
Yeah.
You start proving yourself that you are worth it. You're worth the attention of people. You're worth of compliments. But the problem is, with this attitude, you don't get it. But because people who are pushy don't get the attention.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah?
Exactly.
So the problem amplifies. And at some point your body says, enough, I cannot do it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah. So the problem is too low self-esteem.
Too low.
That's where it starts. And it starts in the youth. So you start pushing to prove to people that you're worth it. You're worth their attention, you're worth their compliments, you're worth their love. But unfortunately, it doesn't work like that.
No.
Because
No.
you don't get it when you start pushing it. You start demanding it. People turn away from you when you act like this.
So burnout, is it an age-related issue? Like
No.
if you get
No.
to 50, 60, 70?
No.
It's not an age-related
No.
issue?
No. I have people who are 25 who are already burnout.
No.
Yeah. When it starts in your youth, I mean, you have time enough, to create it.
Yeah.
Because it's not something that starts from today and tomorrow you're burnout.
No.
It's something that grows over the years.
Well, how long does it? How long can one work in pressure before you get to the level of burnout?
It depends on the person.
Okay.
The one person is much more resilient than the other.
Give us an approximate, like about how many
Well,
years? Can it be 5 years?
most people get their burnout around 30, 40. That's about the age that usually people develop a burnout.
Wow.
But it starts already in your youth.
Yes.
That's where the foundation is laid. And it only gets amplified by the people around you. Because when you demand attention,
Yeah.
you don't get it. Because people don't like people who are demanding attention. So they start ignoring you, and that only amplifies the problem. It only makes it grow. Because then you start to attract more attention. You start to demand more attention, and more and more and more. It's never enough.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Yeah.
What do you call it?
A self-fulfilling prophecy. Because when you don't feel good enough,
Yeah.
you don't have enough self-esteem, you try to get it from other people. But the people won't give it to you because of your attitude. Because you demand it. And when you start demanding things, people ignore you. They start pushing you away. And that only increases the problem. Yeah.
So that means people who are rejected in life,
Yeah.
they stand a better chance of having a burnout.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because of high rejection.
Yeah. All of the lives, not from one day to the other. It's grown through the years. It gets worse through the years. It starts in the youth and it grows through the years.
You see, what you are speaking is really blowing my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I can't really imagine how somebody can walk, or somebody can be rejected, maybe from youth, and then it becomes a continuous process. You can be rejected maybe for one thing or the other, but that doesn't need to be a continuous process.
It is. The problem is the attitude.
The attitude of the people?
Of the people who feel rejected.
May I ask you, is burnout a mental related problem?
A mental problem, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's a mental problem?
Yeah, it's a mental problem. It's an emotional problem. Yeah. When you have low self-esteem, you try to get it from other people. You try to get their attention, you try to get their compliments, you try to get their appreciation, but you don't get it. Because you want it, because you demand it. And when you start demanding things, people push you away. And they ignore you.
Yeah.
So the problem becomes worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you have a very strong force of getting this attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. But nobody gives it to you.
No.
Because of this force.
Demand, yes.
Nobody gives it to you. Because nobody likes people who push you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So they start ignoring you, start pushing you away, and that makes the problem grow more.
Exactly.
Yeah. But you don't give up. You start to keep pushing, and at some point, your body says it's enough. I can't take anymore.
From your studies, do you think it has to do with who are those who are vulnerable to this burnout? Are they youths from a broken home, or are they youths from?
Oh no,
Really?
no, not particularly. Oh no, it can happen to anybody. When by instant, what I just gave you the example, when you have a brother who gets more attention than you do,
yeah,
then you feel not good enough to deserve your attention of your parents.
Okay.
And you know that problem grows because you take that with you in your adulthood.
So that means parents must be very careful
Yeah.
how they show their love to their children.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Because if you go about pampering one and then showing more affection to the other one, and then neglecting one.
The problem is even worse, because the problem is these parents have the same feeling.
What do you mean?
Like they're not good enough. Yeah, and their parents have that problem, and their parents, so you can go on for ages. And you see that in all kinds of families, it's like a line. You keep
repeating rejection.
Yeah, you keep repeating it generation to generation to generation.
Yes.
That's why I've written a book about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think
It's just finished.
I think it's going to be a very
bestseller.
Because this case is not just an ordinary thing.
Oh no,
about
hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of people have this problem.
And they are dealing with it.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're suffering from it, not dealing with it. They're suffering from it.
How does it affect the society?
Well,
if all this ratio, if all this number of people will be having this sort of problem, as you say.
At the end of the day, we are going to have an enormous wave of people who are burned out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only effect it can have. Yeah. At some point, a lot of people are going to collapse. It's normal. Yeah. I mean, when you push yourself to the limit to get people's attention, at one point your body says, "Okay, done, no more." And when this society even creates this, it amplifies this, because we are in a producing society. Everybody expects you to work as hard as you can.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know, people have a limit. At one point, it's done. It's over. You cannot comply with this anymore.
That's just like what I was trying to say. Like when you find yourself being under pressure, and then you are doing something you know that is affecting so many people, like what we are doing here, and yet nobody is coming out to say, "I sponsor you, I help you." You know, to alleviate to make it a little bit easier, so that one can only think about producing what do you call it? Producing the broadcast. And then maybe somebody say, "Okay, what you guys are doing are very, very nice. Not only telling us, we love your program, but nobody is looking for a way to sponsor, to help us stay on the air." Yeah. Can such a thing lead to burnout?
That will give you the sense of not being good enough.
Yes.
Yeah, because in fact it's bullshit. Yeah, it's not true, but that's the emotion you get. Yeah?
Wow.
That's what you develop.
That means it can be a false emotion.
It is a false emotion, absolutely. It is absolutely a false emotion. But people, especially young people, children, are very sensitive to this. And this is something you carry on the rest of your life. Eh?
Yes.
I have people who are 85 and have the feeling that they're not good enough. And they've had it their whole lives.
Yes.
And nobody has ever told them, because this is one of the issues I treat during my sessions.
Right.
And nobody understands.
Really?
Yeah. I have people of 50, 60 years who tell me, oh my God, I've known my whole life that there was something wrong and I couldn't put my finger on it. And now that you've explained it, this is it. Now I finally understand.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then you can understand it drops a complete load off your back.
Yes.
An enormous load.
But then they're already old.
Yeah, well, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter because
so I think
even people of 60 can get a burnout.
Yeah, I think it's better to capture it when they are young and then prevent it than to wait until they are.
I have a customer who's a real estate broker and is now busy creating a school. And she wants me to teach there.
Wow.
So prevent this problem when they're young.
Now,
make them understand that the way they act is not according to who they are. You know, they should know that they're valuable, that they're appreciated and they're loved. But you know, sometimes people get a little more or less attention, and they should know that that's not a problem. That doesn't mean that their parents love them less.
Yeah.
But the problem is when your parents have the feeling that they're not good enough, they automatically and unconsciously give you the same signal. And that is the problem. So it doesn't start in your youth, it starts in the youth of your parents and their parents and their parents and their parents.
Yeah.
So this is something that has grown through the ages. The problem is not developed in this era, it's already 1 million years old. As a matter of speaking, yeah.
Wow.
And it keeps going on and on from generation to generation to generation.
Yes.
And nobody knows. It's an unconscious process.
Yes.
Nobody knows that they give their children the signal of not being good enough.
Yes.
Nobody knows. And they don't do it consciously. It's always an unconscious process.
Yes.
But that doesn't make it less problematic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, somebody out there, you feel that you want to call in or you have any question to the doctor who is in the studio discussing on burnout and depression, give us a call on 020-737-1619. Your suggestions and recommendations are also very important. So let's hear your voice if you're out there listening. Remember, this is Dr. Gerard Wouters discussing this morning on depression and burnout on the Radio Voice of Naija. Hello? Good morning. Really? Uh-huh. Because of burnout? Or because of the rejection? So you are, yes? Alright, we will have to ask the doctor whether that is one of the reasons. The caller is asking, is it because of what you are discussing, or this burnout? He thinks criminality is high because of the reason that people are rejected or people are not doing enough.
No, not really. No, not really. No.
Well, caller, the doctor thinks that is not part of the reason why criminality have to be very high. Maybe there's another reason. Thank you for calling anyway. If you have many more questions, please just feel free to give us a call. I would like us to, there's a call.
It's can it really be because of rejection? Because you mentioned that. Can it be the main cause of people burning out?
Yeah.
Because I found
that's absolutely the question. Because of this emotional rejection, that's the cause of the burnout. Because when you're emotionally rejected, you start pushing to get their attention, and appreciation and love of people. But the problem is, because of this attitude, you don't get it. So you push more to get it. Yeah? And you push more and push more and push more because you want to get this appreciation. But nobody gives it to you because you are pushing for it. You know? That's where
I'll get back to on this later.
Okay.
Well, caller.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, please. Yes.
It seems I've lost some points. That's what they say as well on the colors.
We are talking. Yes, we are discussing on. Yes.
I mean, I didn't start with you, but I think I was well on the first question.
All right.
You see, there was a certain guy in Ghana. He happens to have idea of creating something out of his craft, and he built a windmill that generates electricity in his business.
Okay.
He was mad, he was using witchcraft, he was all that, so he was labeled and he abandoned the whole thing.
Okay.
He says that because of the label, he was rejected, and then he was don't know how to put it. So it came, he didn't go fast. He could have also turned to cry because what he has to do, if he takes the power he has, he will turn it to do dubious things.
Okay.
So the question that the guy asked, I think is in a right system. So the guy came to Holland here and saw that there are big windmills here that generate electricity. So he found out that really he's not what they were saying
About him.
That he's a mad person. He uses witchcraft to do that. Because there are big ones here.
Yes.
Here. And as a certain pastor told him, before you can do all these things, you have to have third eye. So he doesn't know what a third eye is. So with all rejection, it can lead to what the doctor is saying. So can we have NGO which will coordinate all these activities, because it's like we the homeless, we have a lot to offer in this country, but we are not getting the appropriate appropriate people to show us the way to go about our talent.
All right. So let me explain. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, caller, for what you have just said. So, doctor, did you understand the question?
No, not really.
No. What he is saying is that you say that this is not he was adding up to what the first caller asked you, whether this could result to criminality and all of those things. And he made mention that there was a guy who developed a windmill in Africa, a windmill, you know. And then when he developed this, because this guy was highly talented, but he didn't really go to school, but he was highly talented. So this guy developed this windmill on how to generate energy. And then people around rejected what he had developed, and they began to say that he was operating under witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. So they began to call him that he was a witch, and then that brought a lot of rejection in him. Yeah. So he said if this guy didn't hold himself, he would have probably, because they rejected him, he would have maybe used the same thing to begin to develop a way of involving in crime, and you know. So, but when he came down here, he came to Europe, he found out that there were some big windmills that can generate energy. So he found out that which he had originally developed wasn't something demonic, because they were trying to say that he was out of his mind. So how do you...
So they made him feel that he wasn't good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that absolutely generates, in a later stadium of your life, the burnout. Yeah.
So that means that boils down to the fact that the rejection causes burnout. That's what we are trying to establish here.
Yeah, that's what happens.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but it doesn't necessarily have to develop in criminal behavior.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my point.
Yeah, okay.
It can, but it's not really. This is criminality.
Okay.
Because you see a lot of people who are rich, wealthy parents,
Yeah.
have a lot of love, and still become criminals. So that's not the part of the rejection.
Right. Could you please give us some of the symptoms? We want to know, what are the symptoms of being burnout?
Well,
Because I know.
obviously you're very tired.
Tired.
And so tired that you can hardly do anything anymore. People with burnout usually spend 24/7 in bed or on the couch. They're completely gone. Your body is completely exhausted. Yeah, yeah. This. It's completely exhausted. That's the main symptom.
Because I've also read something on the internet. I found out that they also have headaches. Is that?
It can
Physical
be.
symptoms could be like low energy headaches,
Yeah.
and significant weight gain or weight loss in a short amount of time. Is that?
Yeah, well, somebody loses weight and the other one gains a lot of weight.
They said lower sex drive. They don't have any appetite for sex and all of those things.
You're completely gone. Your life is your body is exhausted. So sex is not an issue. It's just,
Yes.
It's not possible because
Well,
you don't have the energy for it.
Mm-hmm.
You're completely drained.
Completely drained.
It's like your body is completely out of energy.
Which professions are prone to burn out?
What? Sorry?
Which professions are prone to burn out? I mean, you understand the bureau. Which profession are more active to having burn out? Like are there medical doctors?
I don't think it's really connected to some profession. It's more the attitude that creates the burnout.
No, I wanted to I agree that somebody getting rejected can burn out as a result of trying to prove him or herself. But
Prove his worth.
yeah, but I don't think that can be the only thing that can create a burnout in people. Because the main thing here is somebody is forced to begin to push himself hard,
Yeah, because
beyond his own capacity.
Yeah.
And so to get into that state where you are driving yourself, overdriving yourself, yes, rejection can be one of them, but can that be the only thing?
Yeah, that's the main cause.
Maybe
The
somebody,
rejection is the main cause. Because the rejection gives you the drive to go beyond your limits. You
well,
understand?
yeah,
the
I do.
rejection of people, the people who gave you the signal that you're not good enough,
Yeah.
this signal creates that you start pushing your boundaries. You start going over your capacity. Yeah? That's the main cause.
Okay. Well, all right. I'll leave it at this for now.
Okay.
Yeah.
You.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hello, caller. Yes, it's all right. Yeah.
If somebody is a heavyweight boxer, he uses the body for heavyweight. And somebody is a footballer, he uses the body for footballing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the body can't take it anymore and becomes down. Can we also call it a burnout?
Can he call it a what?
Burnout.
What the doctor is explaining.
Yeah.
Is it in the same group?
Did you understand the question, bro?
No.
Somebody uses the body for sports and or use the body for too much movement and become weak. And the body can't take it anymore.
Right. Okay. He's asking you, somebody who was a boxer before, and then he has boxed and boxed that he is completely worn out, and then another one is using his body for only women. You know, being like a Casanova man.
But that is also
is it the
that's
same?
oftenly also that's also oftenly a way of proving yourself.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying, somebody experiencing rejection is one way, but somebody overusing his body because of some other reason, like somebody who's always sleeps with women, or somebody who's maybe a boxer and, you know,
Let me give you an example.
it's you know, using his strength too much, you know, for example.
Yeah, well, the effect is the same. The cause is the same. The effect is also the same. But when people, by instance, I've met a woman in a discotheque, and she was completely suppressed by her parents, who were very religious. Yeah, well, that's no good, eh? But the problem is, she was completely, she was raised that sex was dirty. Yeah?
Okay.
So that's not good.
Yeah.
What happens when somebody like that gets out of the house, starts living on their own? What is happening is that they completely turn the other way around.
Really?
Then oftenly they become nymphomanic. Yeah? So sex is their only life. The sex is their complete life,
Yeah.
and it's their way of getting love and appreciation. The only problem is, it's never good enough.
Yes.
It's never enough. No matter how many men or women you have sex with, it's never enough.
Wow.
So that's also a way of trying to prove yourself and trying to prove your worth of the appreciation of others.
Wow.
Yeah?
So, this is really an interesting topic.
Oh yeah, we could spend hours.
Wow. So, burnout, is it the same thing as depression?
No, the depression comes first. First people get depressed when they neglect this, and the burnout starts.
Hold on, please. Hello? Caller?
Hello, yeah. I want to come to the second question that you asked.
Yeah.
There's something called value for money. Everybody is doing review. So, if you want your radio to be attractive and to be sponsored, all what you have to do is to have a website. Then you collect all the activities that you are doing or that somebody is doing and is catching up. You have to put something ahead of them. Like what doctor is saying, it's a very nice program you are doing, but at least we are getting the people to call it or people to say, listen. So if we can propagate it more, like that man who called the original Bobo, he is good at that. He can even call people, hey, there's a station here who is doing some marvelously. So you call it, and I also call in some people, and another person will call a person, and it will be going. But this very topic is breaking. It's very new to us. As Bobo said.
Well, we have been on this for a long time, and we have been on this for a long time, and that is not really the topic which we are in right now. The topic which we are discussing are the symptoms of burnout, and that is the question which we want to take. Up. Thank you for your suggestions, and maybe we can to speak that again and again. But if you have any question relating to the symptoms of burnout or depression, then you can.
The burnout, I'm saying, you'll be doing something repeatedly, and you're not getting the outcome. That can also lead to burnout. As you were saying, you'll be doing the program and you are not getting sponsored. Really, when the sponsor will come, that means the man said the program is being good for us. So we can also contribute for the end time. You get me? So when you are doing it and people are not calling in or not participating, it also amounts to burnout for you people there, and you get a vim to do it more.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's like we are all bringing our suggestions so that we can put the program to a successful meeting. But if you are cutting it out, then I think it's okay for that.
That's good.
No,
Okay.
and I'm not cutting you. I appreciate all your effort, please. But what I'm trying to say is that we are talking on burnout now. And we also encourage and support every one of you who have been calling, and you know, we are very grateful. If our programs are not what they are supposed to be, we wouldn't have been able to get the awards and community awards as well, which we have gotten. So thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, Doctor, please, can you continue?
Well,
I asked you a question on if depression is the same as a burnout.
No. Depression is related to burnout. It's usually the fourth traject. You know, what happens is depression is in the core is thinking.
Yeah.
We have an incredible mind. There's no single computer in this world that can compare to our mind.
Yeah.
Only the problem is we use it wrong. We use it completely the wrong way.
Okay.
When your thinking is given to people to learn new things, to understand new things, and to learn to control new things, like driving a car. That is something you should learn first.
Yeah.
How to control it, and then after a while you know it so well that it becomes automatic and you don't have to think about it anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, but the problem in this world, and that's also created by our society, we are stimulated to think all day.
Yes.
And when you think all day, you become very tired.
Exactly.
Yeah,
yeah.
And a lot of people don't even think during the day but also during the night. So you don't get rest. And the problem is when you think so much, yeah, you get tired, you get negative, and then your thinking becomes negative.
Exactly.
And when you do this for about a few weeks, then this is called a depression.
Wow.
So it's the wrong way of using your mind.
The wrong way.
When you think all day and all night, you become negative, you become tired, your thinking becomes negative, and then your thinking becomes worrying. And when you worry all day, all night, that's when they call it depression.
Wow.
So the problem is we use our mind the wrong way. Thinking is given to us as a tool to learn new things, to understand new things, and to learn how to control things.
Yeah.
But that's not what we do. We worry all day, and that's the wrong way of using your mind.
Yes.
And the biggest problem is when you start thinking, you stop enjoying life. That life doesn't become life, it becomes survival. And that's where it goes wrong. So this is usually what happens before you get the burnout.
Yes, okay.
Yeah?
But it seems that more people are depressed nowadays than in the past.
Of course.
Is it the rate of is the rate of depression increasing? Is it increasing more and more?
Absolutely.
Because people are being worried.
Yeah.
And circumstances that are making them to be worried.
Yeah.
All over.
Well,
economic crisis too.
Yes and no. The problem is when you become negative, you attract negative. Yeah.
Yes.
So then it becomes a vicious circle. When you don't break through this process, it becomes a vicious circle, and then you attract more negativity.
How does one get to the level of becoming very negative?
Well, if you think all day and all night, it takes a few days. Yeah, it's as easy as that. And people are motivated and stimulated to think about everything they do. But the problem is, 99% of the things we do every day, we've been doing every day for the past 10, 20 years. So this should become an automatic process. We should not be thinking about it. But everybody is thinking from, what should we eat today? Where should I go today? Which groceries? With this. And you know, it gets a life of their own. It's an unstoppable process at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah? When you don't break through this process, it becomes a vicious circle. And your thoughts become more negative, and thinking becomes worrying. And that's where it goes wrong. That's where the problem starts. When thinking turns into worrying, that's where the depression comes to life.
So what are the common things that trigger depression? Thinking negatively.
Thinking. That's when you think 200 kilometers per hour 24/7. Oh yeah, well, it takes a few days and then you're there.
But you know, of course, if one's lifestyle is not satisfying, you are bound to think.
Yeah,
isn't
of
it?
course. Yeah. Well, the problem is.
So is it then
the
that
problem is this life is one big test. It's one big test, and the test is, how do you cope with things? You know, when something happens to you, when you get by a car accident, you can think it for 24 days.
Okay.
But you can also think about it for 10 minutes and think, okay, what does this mean? Am I on the wrong road with my life? Maybe. And when you look at it this way, so an attitude, that's what we're talking about, attitude.
Yeah.
It depends on your attitude. When you let it go quickly,
Yeah.
then the thinking stops.
Okay.
No, when you understand why it's happening, yeah, and not blame everybody else, but keep it here with yourself, and understand what you did. You know, when you fall off the stairs, you cannot blame your neighbor.
No.
Because you fell off the stairs. And why did you fell off the stairs? Because you were thinking.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
200 miles an hour. Yeah. And you shouldn't be thinking, you should be watching. You should be having your attention here, in the here and now. When you don't do this, it becomes worrying.
Yeah.
And when you start worrying, you start producing accidents.
So, what do you think can be some of the solutions for dealing with burnout or depression? From your practice, what do you think
The solution is insight. Insight. Why does this happen to me? Yeah? What does this mean in my life? What does this mean? What signal am I getting from life which I'm doing wrong? You know, what am I doing wrong? That's the insight that you need to get.
And if you look
when something happens to you, the test is, do you understand why it is happening to you?
In other words, you are saying that, in other words, you want to say to our listeners that whatever that happens to one, at all times we must understand it. Is that?
Absolutely. Insight is the most important thing. And as soon as you understand why things are happening to you, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Wow.
You can let go.
So
But when you don't understand, you start thinking about it every day, 24/7. And then it becomes worrying, and then the depression comes to life.
So let me ask you something. Permit me to ask you this question. You know, you came to discuss about the last broadcast we had with you was on denial of your right to see your child. Okay.
That's also a test.
Okay. So during that process, you were not worrying about it. You were not worrying about not having seen your child for 18 years or how many years?
Yeah.
Were you not worried? So have you outgrown the level where you don't worry anymore?
But. What I did is something that other people normally don't do.
Yeah.
I made it my profession.
Okay.
So when this situation of my children and not seeing my children occurs, of course I worried. Of course I was angry that I couldn't see them. But on the other side, I realized that this is not only my problem, it is a general problem.
Yes.
It's a lot bigger than me.
Yeah.
So what did I do? I dove into it.
Yes.
And made it one of my specialties.
Wow.
So I turned something negative into positive.
Positive. And
Yeah.
now you can be a blessing to numerous
Yeah.
thousands of people.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm proud
I can
of
make
you.
a lot of people understand what they're doing wrong in these processes
Now,
because
before-
I've done it already.
Right. Now,
Yeah.
before we sign off,
Mhm.
what is your last comment to those who have listened to you this morning?
Life is one big test, but you better enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Because if you don't, you get depressed, you get burned out.
So, listeners out there, you heard it from the doctor himself. It is important that you don't worry too much.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy life. You do what you can to enjoy life now you are alive. Well, thank you, Dr. Gerard Wouters. Thank you so much for being with us, and we appreciate you being here. And we think we would like to have you more and more and more and more again.
Oh, I love to
Thank
come.
you being on Radio Voice of Naija show.
Okay, thank you very much for inviting me.
You were.